This is your unconventional news update from crushthestreet.com. Joining Greece and Portugal, Ireland's credit has now been rated junk status by credit rating agency Moody's this past Tuesday. Now who's next? Italy?
And top European officials hold an emergency meeting to discuss the sovereign debt crisis, with Italy now in focus.
Or is it the US's credit that's next to be downgraded? Bloomberg has reported that Moody's has placed the US on review for a potential downgrade of the US's credit rating for the first time since 1995.
August 2nd, as you know, is the day America hits its credit limit, but there is no deal in sight, which could spell financial chaos. The rating agency Moody's is now preparing to downgrade America's credit rating, and Standard & Poor's, another major rating agency, saying they're going to do the same if America fails to pay out Social Security checks or any other obligations in August.
A likely downgrade is not very far-fetched, as Obama states in a July 12th interview that Social Security checks are not guaranteed to go out this August 3rd.
There are about $20 billion worth of Social Security checks that have to go out the day after the government is supposedly going to go into default.
There are about 70 million checks that go out.
Can you guarantee as president those checks will go out on August the 3rd?
I cannot guarantee that those checks go out on August 3rd if we haven't resolved this issue.
Senator Jim DeMint accuses Obama of creating an unnecessary panic about the debt ceiling issue.
Because we are not going to default. We've got enough tax revenue to pay our bills. It's not ideal, but we don't need to panic and rush into a deal. And the president has actually been burning the clock with these secret negotiations, pushing us up against a deadline so he can create this panic. But now is not the time to panic and do something else that's going to make our economy worse and cost us more jobs.
Recently, former Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan told CNBC that the U.S. economic status is strongly linked to the Greek crisis outcome.
What kind of a second half are you expecting for the U.S. economy?
It's going to depend to a very large extent on what happens to Greece.
Greenspan also believes that there won't be a debt limit deal by the August 2nd deadline.
We're going to get up to August 2nd, and I think on that night we are not going to have the issue solved.
After August 2nd, the federal government will not be able to spend 40% of current spending. The Treasury Department issues 80 million payments a month, and with 2 out of every $10 Americans get coming from the government, I hope Americans are prepared, because there is almost no time left to prepare now. The latest Fed chairman also agrees that U.S. default would cause a major catastrophe. Another recent Bernanke moment happens when responding to a question from Ron Paul, where Bernanke states, "Gold isn't money." This happening as gold reaches a new all-time high, almost breaking $1,600 an ounce.
You know, the price of gold today is $1,580. The dollar during these last 3 years was devalued almost 50%. When you wake up in the morning, do you care about the price of gold?
Well, I pay attention to the price of gold, but I think it reflects a lot of things.
Do you think gold is money?
No.
Why do central banks hold it?
Well, it's a form of reserves.
Why don't they hold diamonds?
Well, it's tradition, long-term tradition.
You know, some people still think it's money. I yield back my time.
Ron Paul is running for president in 2012 and has been a member of the House of Representatives for over 20 years. He has now just announced he will not seek re-election to the House so that he can focus on the presidential campaign. Speculation on QE3 from interpretations of Bernanke's statements have a direct impact on gold prices, flip-flopping up and down after each time Bernanke speaks.
Well, Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke was back on Capitol Hill today for his semi-annual report to Congress. And in a rapid turnaround from his last Fed press conference a few weeks ago, he finally said that further steps to stimulate the economy, aka a QE3, just might be in the cards. But then again, they might not.
Hope you enjoyed this update. For more news and information, visit crushthestreet.com.